which means that any organism with sufficient mass and cognitive capability is a potential vector. Is something wrong?
No, nothing.
Splendid, shall we?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Unfortunately, my usefulness to this particular endeavor has come to an end. Protocol does not allow units with my classification to perform a task as important as the reunification of the index with the coma. That final step is reserved for you, Reclaimer. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, really?
Cortana.
I've spent the last 12 hours cooped up in here watching you toady about, helping that thing get set to slit our throats.
Hold on now. He's a friend.
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum? Do you have any idea what that bastard almost made you do?
Yes. Activate Halo's defenses and destroy the Flood, which is why we brought the index to the control center.
You mean this?
A construct in the core? That is absolutely unacceptable.
Sod off!
What impertinence! I shall purge you at once!
You sure that's a good idea?
How dare you? Oh!
Do what? I have the index. You can just float and sputter.
Enough! The Flood is spreading. If we activate Halo's defenses, we can wipe them out.
You have no idea how this ring works, do you? Why the Forerunners built it? Halo doesn't kill Flood. It kills their food. Humans, Covenant, whatever. We're all equally edible. The only way to stop the Flood is to starve them to death. And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him.
Is it true?
More or less. Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the Flood. But you already knew that. I mean, how couldn't you?
Left out that little detail, did he?
We have followed outbreak containment procedure to the letter. You were with me each step of the way as we managed this crisis.
Chief, I'm picking up movement.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go. Right now.
Last time you asked me if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
Get us out of here.
If you are unwilling to help, I will simply find another. Still, I must have the index. Give your construct to me, or I will be forced to take her from you.
That's not going to happen.
So be it. Save his head. Dispose of the rest.
Look out! We can't let the monitor activate Halo. We have to stop him. We have to destroy Halo. According to my analysis of the available data, I believe the best course of action is somewhat risky. An explosion of sufficient size will help destabilize the ring, and will cut through a number of primary systems. We need to trigger a detonation on a large scale, however. A starship's fusion reactors going critical would do the job. I'm going to search what's left of the Covenant BattleNet and see if I can locate the Pillar of Autumn's crash site. If the ship's fusion reactors are still relatively intact, we can use them to destroy Halo. haven't located the crash site yet, but we need to buy some time in case the Monitor or his Sentinels find a way to activate Halo's final weapon without the index. Let's get moving. The nav point marks our target. The machinery in these canyons are Halo's primary firing mechanisms. They consist of 3 phase pulse generators that amplify Halo's signal and allow it to fire deep into space. The power levels are enormous. I can't even begin to calculate the pulse's range. So, if we damage or destroy these generators, the Monitor will need to repair them before Halo can be used. That should buy us some time. I'm marking the location of the nearest pulse generator with a nav point. We need to move in and neutralize the device. Objective accomplished. The pulse generator has overloaded. Scanning. The generator's central core is offline. Well done. Wait, we should commandeer one of those Banshees. We'll need it to reach the pulse generator in time. The second pulse generator is located in the adjacent canyon. Move out and I'll mark the target with the nav point when we get closer. Head through that door. That's the way to the next canyon.
Well, there I didn't think that this was going to be possible even slightly. I had tried this a bunch of times. Most of the time this is an hour-and-a-half mission for me, and I really didn't want to have to play it that long anymore. It wasn't really that fun in its original setup. I don't think it's not a very fun mission to me, which I've been saying a lot about these games, so maybe Halo Combat Evolved is not the best in the way of levels, but one thing I do have to say is that it was a lot of fun being able to look up the speedrunning guides for this, so that way it became more of a actual battle instead of just a chug through enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy.
Even on Legendary, I don't believe that a game should be so arduous that it becomes a chore, because it's a game. It's supposed to be fun. And the speedrunning for this particular mission made it the way I think the level should have been originally, and only had those particular fights.
let's take care of the next pulse generator. That did it. The pulse generator overloaded. One more to go. I located the Killer Bottom. She put down 1,200 kilometers upspin. Energy readings show her fusion reactors are still powered up. That tunnel leads to the next section of canyon. The final pulse generator we need to destroy is through there.
So right here, I ended up running into an issue I'd never seen before on any other run I've done for 2 Betrayals. There's a Banshee here who just keeps trying to Banshee bomb me over and over and over again, so obviously I cut out a bunch of the deaths that I had, but as you can see here, I keep motioning over as if the Banshee's going to attack me, and then it never does in this particular run, which is why I ended up just kind of fleeing past it. But I found that kind of interesting that on different parts of this mission, things just wouldn't go right and wouldn't go right and wouldn't go right, and then I just kind of had to work with what I was given in order to keep running it, and the save and quit method obviously made this a lot easier.
But in general, I really couldn't complain because this particular run had very little RNG problems. In fact, I got saved by RNG a bunch. I had one part where I would go in and the Banshee was already blown up, so I only had to deal with one Banshee, which was on that earlier bridge. I had a room where no one was attacking me when normally they're all very aggroed, and the rocket flood just blew himself up in that one corridor. And so there was just a whole bunch of different things kind of working my way, and then all of a sudden there were extra enemies that hadn't been there before, like at the end of the mission where you have the Banshee and the Ghost, there was this pack of Floods who were just sitting around, and I couldn't seem to get that Ghost away from them. And then I had to figure out that if I used a rocket to blast it towards myself, then I could actually access it. And of course, like I said, this Banshee at the end, it was my last hurdle to trying to get this done. And I was kind of surprised as to where the 5 minutes went that was different between this run and my last run.
Final target neutralized. Let's get out of here.
Let's find a ride and get to the captain.
No, that'll take too long.
You have a better idea?
There's a teleportation grid that runs throughout Halo. That's how the monitor moves about so quickly. I learned how to tap into the grid when I was in the control center. Unfortunately, each jump requires a rather consequential expenditure of energy.
Something tells me I'm not gonna like this.
But I'm pretty sure I can pull it from your suit without permanently damaging your shields. Needless to say, I think we should only try this once.
Do it.